A lot of Democrats are breaking away from President Biden's border policies. Now his administration must carefully weigh all options before rolling out a repeal plan. Let's bring in Florida Congresswoman Kat Cammack. She's on the Homeland Security Committee and House Agricultural Committee. So from the perspective of Homeland Security, Congressman, what is the situation on the southern border?
Well, good to see you, John. And let's be honest, it's dire. This is a crisis of epic proportions. We have about 8,000 a day coming to our borders. Keep in mind, we lose operational control of our borders when we have a surge of 5,000. Now, with the talk of Title 42 going away, we would have up to 18,000 people a day coming across our borders and into our communities all across America. This is a crisis of epic proportions. And let's be clear, every town in America is a border town because of the failure of this administration to secure our borders. If you can't secure your borders, you don't have a secure nation. And we know that because we have national security as our #1 job description in Congress. And the Democrats have failed. This administration has failed. We need to get back to the basics and secure our borders.
And the administration is putting these migrants on airplane flights and generally sending them in the middle of the night to sort of out-of-the-way airports and just letting them out right there. We heard earlier from your Democratic congressional colleague, Henry Cuellar, about his concerns, and Democrats seem to be getting a little worried about all of this. Here's Chrissy Houlihan, Democrat from Pennsylvania, on the idea of dropping Title 42 restrictions. Listen.
We haven't given them the tools to be able to succeed. Frankly, it really is a disjointed process. I think it's premature to pull back Title 42 without really thinking hard about all of the inconsistencies that still exist if you do that at the southern border, but perhaps don't do other things in other places. And so that's why now.
Is there no Democrat who can get the message to President Biden that this policy is, well, it's freaking out members of Congress, but it's also angering Americans?
Well, I think that if they were to secure the border, keep Title 42 in place, and fully implement the Remain in Mexico policy that was so successful under President Trump, that would fly in the face of the Democrats' agenda. And they're more concerned with the political agenda than they are with doing the right thing for Americans. Listen, I've talked to my Democratic colleagues, and they are scared to death that if they go against Speaker Pelosi and Joe Biden, that they will somehow lose their committee assignments and they'll be cast out of good graces with the administration, which is really a shame because they took an oath to the United States Constitution and not to a party. But they seem more interested with the politics than doing the right thing. I think we're going to see more plummeting polling numbers, particularly on this issue, and that is going to cause them serious concern. And you will eventually see some Democrats breaking away. But I think that there's a stronghold in this liberal progressive agenda. It'll be a few more months until we really see more Democrats jumping ship.
As we watch video of more migrants wading across the Rio Grande to make it into this country, I want to put up a couple of appalling statistics. Border encounters in March, unaccompanied minors. These are children who don't have parents with them. 14,167. That's up 18% just from the previous month. It's unbelievable, the numbers of children who are making it into this country, usually with the help of coyotes, without any adult accompaniment. And then there's the problem of fentanyl, one of the most deadly drugs known to man. In fiscal year 2022, we've had 5 kilos of fentanyl seized at the southern border. That's just the stuff that's been seized. That isn't the stuff that got through. That compares to about twice as much seized in fiscal year 2021. What do you say about the fentanyl situation, Congresswoman?
Oh, John, this is the stuff that just breaks your heart. As you mentioned, I sit on Homeland Security. I've been to the border myself 3 times. I've spoken to little girls as young as 9 who can't even tell me their name because their vocal cords have given out from screaming while they were being gang raped. by coyotes and cartel members. I have been there when Border Patrol agents have encountered grown men with children that are not their own. They call it recycling, where they use small children under the age of 6 as escorts to get these single adults across the border as a family unit when there's no familial relation whatsoever. And you talk about the narcotics. Just last week in my county, in Marion County, there were 2 pounds of fentanyl discovered on a drug bust by our local law enforcement. That is enough fentanyl to kill every man, woman, and child in the state of Florida several times over. It is killing our communities, and it is happening in every community across America. No one is immune, and this is the thing that people tend to ignore, is the opioid crisis, which is the #1 killer of people between the ages of 18 and 45. It's not COVID, it's not cancer, and it's certainly not climate change, as the left would lead you to believe. It's opioids, and it's fentanyl, and it's coming from our southwest border. The most damning thing about that case last week in my district, however, was on that brick of fentanyl that was found was the stamp, a known stamp of a border cartel. And when I called Homeland Security and showed them the evidence, they said, yes, we know that cartel well. They're moving product at a rate that we cannot control because we cannot control the border.
I want to turn your attention quickly to another topic. The legislature in Florida has voted to strip Walt Disney, the Walt Disney Corporation, of its special tax status, the thing that it was given before it built Disney World and all of the other resorts on its thousands of acres. To your mind, a good idea?
Yeah, I think this is a situation where you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And in the case of Disney, they decided that they wanted to go woke. So in effect, they're going to go broke. They're a private company. They have the right to say what they want to say. But the state legislature and taxpayers will no longer grant them the special status that they have enjoyed, which has exempted them from millions, almost to the tune of $300+ million annually. And so they will now be paying the taxes and be participating in the local municipal and county government, paying their fair share. And I think that's only right, because if they want to be part of this community as Florida is, they need to pay their fair share. And again, like I said, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And Disney's feeling the full effect of that now.
Well, they won't feel it until 2023, I guess, when all of this takes effect. There are thoughts that some of this might get changed, haggled out in some kind of deal. We'll see. But it's interesting times in the Magic Kingdom. Congresswoman Kat Cammack of Florida, thank you.